What's goody good? What's good? Happy Wednesday. You made it through another work day. You heard? Man, I already come through. You heard? Man, you always know J.Dunn the motherfucking word. I come through. You heard? Y'all, this mess crazy. This is crazy. And this phone recording, well, the phone conversation recording is new or new to me. But probably like a year from today back, it was like three-way phone call conversations or five-way phone conversations or eight-way phone conversations with somebody not knowing that they being they're having a conversation with all these other people. Now people record them. First off, first off, for the person who released the video today, I ain't saying no names. But for the person who released the video today of a recording, I was here for it. Good on you. But even with good on you, and I'm not talking about you or coming at you. Don't think that way. I'm not. But you got to have a low level of trust to record someone or record a phone conversation rather. Because if you genuinely feel for the person, what well, I'll take that back because like Mona, she records, but she records for her profession. As a life coach, what she said was that she records the conversations to make sure that she has stuff, to help her through her work. So that's that. But and then the person who recorded today, this ain't about you. Don't think I'm coming for you. This ain't about you. You ain't done nothing to me. This ain't about you. But for the people who recorded phone conversations and admitted to recording phone conversations on Sean Bradley on the Patreon, having to record a phone conversation with an alleged friend is honestly, in my opinion, like having to check the cell phone of your spouse. If you gotta check the cell phone of your spouse to figure out if they telling you the truth or to figure out what they did yesterday, even though you talked to them yesterday, if you have to do all that, then why are you in that relationship? If you have to do all this recording, then why are you in this friendship? Why? Why? I don't understand. And because it's YouTube, I'm thinking to myself, maybe people just need content. Maybe they need something to talk about. That's why they do these things. But it really don't make sense. And I think about my phone conversations. They are deep and personal conversations. Like legitimately caring about the next person in their circumstance or the next person caring about me and my circumstance. Real life stuff outside of YouTube. Real life stuff. And that's the reason why I'm a loyal bitch already. But I hold a pristine loyalty to certain individuals. And if you feel like I have turned on other individuals, you could just watch tape on different platforms or watch the chat on different platforms and see why. But to record a phone conversation, I've never done that. That's not even my go to. If somebody calls me or I call them, that's not my go to. People who will record a phone conversation is a person who will set you up. You setting people up. That's what we doing on YouTube now, setting people up. That's what we doing. Now I record, but it's different when you recording a live that's publicly broadcast. When you record a live that's publicly broadcast to make sure you get what you need out of it before it get deleted, to make sure that you have what you need before it get deleted, that's different. But a private phone conversation, especially if each party has the other party's phone number, that's so weird. But I see people do it. Why communicate if you feel like you have to have this type of defense? If you have to be so defensive towards the person or parties that you talking to on the phone, maybe you don't need to be talking to them on the phone. And if somebody feel that way towards you, you don't need to be talking to them on the phone. People probably wonder why I rock so solid and hard with the people that I do love, that I genuinely do love. And people will be like, J.Dunn, how you love these people and you don't even know them? You ain't never met them in person. I'm going to tell you how. And this is all about how you get loyalty, or you can help yourself figure out loyalty from people on YouTube. And I mean, it could always backfire. Thank the Lord, mine didn't. Mine didn't. So, as I have admitted on Sean Bradley's live um, about 2 months ago, and in one of my videos, I actually did have to take 6 weeks off of work to sort through all of the stuff that happened here towards me, all of the traumas that it triggered, plus everything that was happening in my regular life. And there was a select few people who knew about that. And guess what? It never got back to y'all. It never got back. And counseling or therapy or whatever, that's nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm going to segue and say that's what's wrong with the black culture. We look at that as a taboo. Oh, you can't go to counseling, you can't get therapy or whatever. But I mean, if you have issues with your eyes, you go to an optometrist. If you have issues with your feet, you go to a podiatrist. If you have issues with your heart, you go to a cardiologist. You don't sit there and wait to die. So if you do happen to have issues with trying to handle trauma emotionally, then you go to a doctor. And I did that, and I completed, the trauma. Because again, a lot of people know about this stuff on YouTube, but I'm also a Hurricane Katrina survivor. So that plays a lot in my trauma too. Trauma is very interesting. It really is. And when you survive a storm like that, where you could have died, like where you actually lived, where you watch people die around you, that builds trauma. And Katrina was nothing that I asked for. I was young as hell when it happened. First year in college when it happened. I think I was 18 when I was 18 when it happened. I was 18. But either way, as for everyone, trauma and setbacks in life, they build up, they build up, they build up. That's why I'm able to have compassion for Miss Q, because she's been here longer than me. She has been here longer than me, so there is no telling what trauma she done had in her past, whatever done shaped her to be who she is today. I can't take that away from her. I don't want to take that away from her, because everything that you go through and you survive, it builds you as a person. It builds your character. However, When I went through that little program, it was very trying. It mentally exhausted me. But a select few people, and your favorite auntie was not one of them, catch that, catch that. A select few of trusted people knew about it, and it never got back to y'all until I spoke about it on Sean's channel. That's the thing. I don't know if people walk around the YouTube streets and freely trust and be so open to people. But I mean, we all know people and human nature, and you just can't do that. It's not going to be in your benefit to do that. But there is a such thing as taking risk. In order to become closer to people, you take risk. You share a little bit about you, they share a little bit about them. You share a little bit, they share a little bit. You share a little bit, they share a little bit. Before you know it, you feel somewhat connected. But my little circle, if I can call it that, never disappointed me when it came to spilling my tea. And that's respect. That's 100% respect for each and every individual queen who never spilled my tea. Even when I had my tea, they weren't recording me. They wasn't recording me. I wasn't recording them. That's just not what you do. So the fact that it has come to all this where people recording and stuff, and people recording to expose, people recording to have a one up on somebody, then you're not genuine in whatever friendship you think you had. You are not genuine. If I gotta record you, I'm not genuine about your friendship. I'm not genuine about your life and your circumstances, what you have going on, your family life, whatever. That's very disingenuous. And I can't believe that it done resorted to this, but it started that way. And for somebody to be on Patreon and proclaim that they recorded somebody like that was a motherfucking gold star, a pat on the motherfucking back for you to be recording somebody's conversation when they didn't even know that they was being recorded. And you wonder why I say you a messy ass bitch. You wonder why people view you as being messy. Because this same individual who proclaimed and was proud about recording somebody is the same individual who set somebody else up on like a 5-way call last year. What do you hope to gain out of that? But you want to proclaim that you ain't messy now. You ain't messy. Well, guess what? I ain't dumb. And a lot of people on here ain't dumb. It's interesting how people change their tunes, which they really should have already. Humanity should make you change your tune if you know that you're wrong. But it's a lot of followers on here where they will shift. They will shift depending on how their favorite content provider shifts. I saw one video today posted by a little shade all love, and she talked about how sometimes you as a subscriber you will go to bat for a content creator that you respect and that you like, and that's true. And I've seen a select few people, very select few, go to bat for me no matter what. And if you went to bat for me no matter what, love you. Love you. Even if you might have slipped up, I have a forgiving heart. So it might take a little bit more time to rebuild, but I have a forgiving heart. But when you do too much, when you do too much, and for the person in particular, when you always the center of something, and you always the center of something that's like diabolical, methodical, when you just set yourself up to set people up and do all these things, but then you ain't have no parts. It's interesting, y'all. It's very interesting, very telling. But I don't want to ramble on too long in this video. I just had to speak on this recording this. Not everybody is going to be genuine to you. I learned that the hard way, but I'm happy for the lesson. But if ever you have the need or feel the need to record somebody, you weren't cool with them to begin with. And actually, for a little while, I was an open book. It was a lot of people that were drawn to me and expressed compassion for what happened to me at that time. But looking back on all of that now and seeing how people record, it make you want to close the door on people. Which is a sad thing because it's like one bad apple spoils the bunch. That's sad. Because you could really, or I could really be reaching out and helping somebody. But do I want to converse with somebody? Because they might get a wild hair up their ass and decide to do otherwise. It's so many people that follow other content creators, got a wild hair up their ass, and wanted to turn against me. And then once they didn't want the content creator no more, they fell out with them, then they wanted to be my friend. How that work? How that work? It's a lot of people who judged me until somebody else stood up and spoke and apologized for judging me, and then now you want to be my friend. How did it work? I'm keeping my little small group of friends, and I'm good with that. I'm good with it. But yeah, I just wanted to make a point. Recording phone calls ain't nothing but a setup. It ain't nothing but a setup. And it shows your character. It shows who you are. Now, again, for the person who recorded the phone call that got released today, this is not for you. Because when you talking on the phone to somebody like that, you better be recording. You better be. You better not have a sidebar conversation without a witness present or a dang on phone recorder taping. So I get why you did that. But for the other people that do it, just all willy-nilly, I don't get it. But either way, that's my spill on that. That's my spill on that. Y'all have a good evening. Take care. Be blessed. Don't stress. Bye.